Wake up, son.
And I'll blow your house in. That son of a bitch. That son of a bitch.
Elrond's legacy built on broken dreams, but Nora's here tearing apart at the seams. Raised in the code, found truth on the screen. Therapy sessions where the pain's unseen. Healing from the past with stories that sting. Oh no, Nora, let that freedom ring.
Oh, that's too much. What happened? Hi. Oh, wow. That was an extreme close-up. That's like from Wayne's World. Whoa. Sorry. Oh, that's too much, guys. I messed everything up here. I messed it all up. Somehow my background went away and the camera placement went away. Please hold. I don't know what is going on here. Why is it still like that? Guys, I did that. Oh, God. Now I've disappeared. I can't. Please hold. Guys, this is amazing. This is amazing. Please hold for 1 second. My kid is calling. Last one that touched it broke it. That would be me, guys. That would be me, because this is totally wrong. This is absolutely, I need to, yeah, I don't know what is happening here. But I can't, this is insane, because this shape this is the vertical shape. And now it's like, oh, there I am again. Oh my God, you guys. And we have serious stuff to talk about right now. Hang on. Let me just do this. Hi. Yes. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Just 1 second. Okay. How do I? This is insane. Yeah, it just got totally messed up. I don't know what to do here. There we go. Okay. And then I want, no, that's just my screen, guys. You don't want that. But I don't want that one. I want a different camera. So put that one up. No. You know, sometimes technology is awesome and sometimes it's, oh, there we go. Finally. For crying in a bucket. Why is it still doing that? You guys, I don't know what to tell you. I'm really frustrated right now. I don't know what happened once I did that other shape. Now, it's totally wrong. So, whatever. I'm going to leave it like this for now. I will sort it later. But see, this, you try and do something fun and do a vertical stream from this software, and then it messes up the whole works. And that is just unacceptable. Ecamm, unacceptable to me. Unacceptable. That, okay. So now we have this. There. I'll just do this. And we'll fix it that way. We'll go with this for right now, guys. My goodness. Anyway. All right. Let's just start over. Welcome back to the garage. Holy cannolis, guys. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Sorry. If you guys are coming over here from Reese's live, then you know there has been a development with Miss Reese. Tommy suddenly broke up with her last night. This caused a lot. I'm just going off of, you know, I'm just going off of basically, you know, what I heard in Reese's stream when I tuned in. And yeah, she is very distraught right now. I sent her support in the chat. Of course, people weren't sure it was me because I have a new channel name, guys. Welcome to the new channel, Raised in Scientology with me. Oh no, Nora. And I've gotten feedback on that from the trailer I dropped yesterday. And people were like, oh, it's too long. It's giving, you know, millennial. And I get that. The oh no, Nora. Sorry. I texted Tommy, just so you got full disclosure. He's texting me back. Yeah, sorry. I just want to respond to Tommy. I'm live right now. I'll just, you know, totally understood, Tommy. I am live right now. I'm not going to read your text out loud or anything like that. But, you know, in the interest of everything, I think you should just go ahead and go. And thank you for letting me know that that's what's happening. I was saying in her chat, you know, that if she felt unsafe, that he needed to go, because that was bullshit. The fact that Huxley had to leave his own home and, you know, that she was feeling not safe. Like for me watching that, I'm eating chocolate like there's no tomorrow because I'm fucking stress eating. I got to put it away from my hand. Watching her pause her live and be like, you know, like listening, trying to hear if somebody's coming up the stairs near her. I'm sweating, guys. I'm literally sweating, y'all. Like, that is so triggering for me to know that you're watching somebody feel like they're in danger, regardless of if Tommy's a danger or not, right? If you feel that you are in danger, that is real in your mind, y'all. When people who are trauma survivors like me get triggered, that's what's happening right now, whether that's actually happening or not. Okay. And, you know, a lot of people in the chat were like, oh, you know, he's not like he's beating her or something. You know, you're just making it out to be such a big deal. And I'm like, if you're in your own home and you feel unsafe for any reason with the other occupant of that domicile, then they need to leave. period, the end. Okay? And in my personal opinion, if you break up with someone, get the fuck out of the house. Okay? Don't just linger there like a fucking creeper. You know? Like that's just not cool. Okay? But according to Tommy and what he's texted me, he'll be out of the house in an hour. Okay. I'm going to hold him to that. Right? It's just, to me, I mean, you know, listen, Reese and I are not besties. Okay. But she's a woman. I'm a woman. She's a mom. I'm a mom. And guess what? Ain't nobody playing that shit today on my watch. No, thank you. Not today. Not today, Thayton. You know, and this is no knock on Tommy. Like, frankly, I've not watched a lot of his stuff. Not a fan, but that's fine. You know, keep doing the drug rehab thing. Keep educating people on that. That is an important subject and something we're going to be talking about today. Okay. But like, you know, when you are a public, you know, figure and you're creeping around somebody else's house, sneaking up on them during a live, and then sending passive aggressive super chats. And I know that was because I said you should trespass him. And I did say that. She's well within her rights. It's her property. It's not his if he won't leave. But if the situation is he's in the process of leaving, that's a whole other situation. But he still absolutely should not have been lurking around like a goddamn stalker in the background there. Like that's just, listen, you know, not everybody gets divorced, breaks up in an amicable way. Okay. Like y'all want to rewind the clock to 2016 when I made a very public announcement about a very private matter that my ex-husband and I were getting the big D, right? Because shocker, I'm gay, right? So he and I shared children. We also shared a home with my mom and my dad. So we hadn't told the kids. We were waiting until Christmas to tell the children. So we stayed in the same room together, in the same bed, because I didn't have money to buy two separate like 1950s bed situation, right? For months. And then he started dating somebody and I told him, you have to go stay in the bedroom with the boys because I'm not that cool. I'm not that cool. And am I gay? Haggis Basher? Well, let me check. Yes. You know, but that was a different situation. You know, we'd been married for 12 years. He didn't have an apartment yet. We were just, you know, we were in a totally different thing. And we also, you know, broke up in a totally different way. Right? So I know there are different circumstances to different things. Okay. But in this situation, it's clear from watching Reese, who is visibly distraught, that this is not a comfortable situation. Okay. Does that mean Tommy's evil and everybody should just, you know, whatever? No, I don't know the man. I know nothing about him. I've never met him in real life. So I have no comment other than, you know, I want Reese to be safe. And I want Huxley to be able to sleep in his own bed because he deserves that. You know, that's it. Okay. I will keep an eye, and I put it out there. If Reese needs anything, I'm here, you know, as a person to support her. Yeah. You're giving me the Leo Getz from Lethal Weapon 2. Oh my God. That is one of the greatest characters that Joe Pesci ever played, Aubrey, ever. If you guys have never seen, see, and now it's doing this, I'm gonna just lose my mind because my things aren't working. Now I can't pull up any comments. I'm livid. I'm livid, guys. I'm livid. Where is the comment? It's gone. Well, I'm just gonna have to read the comments today because everything is broken. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Okay, see, now it's perfect here. You're giving me the Leo Getz from Lethal Weapon 2. Yeah, well, you are. Yeah. Yes. Yes, Aubrey. Yes. Yeah, guys. So this is, oh, I hate this. No, I'm going to go back to the other thing. I'll fix it later. This software is making me mad, but let's get into the crux of the thing here. Let's dive in. My daughter's off to work. So, you know, got teens working. Yesterday, I did something special. Went with my oldest to buy his very first car. He went and bought a car and he's paying for it all by his little self. Very proud of him. Very proud of him. All right. So today, thanks to Mr. Mitch Brisker, thank you very much for this lovely, lovely piece of promotion. We are going to dive into Narconon, guys. Why are we diving into Narconon? What is this? This little, look at this. I have to fix it. Because here's the situation. As we saw earlier today, DOA won his case. Congrats to Scotty. And Danny won his case last week. Okay. So Scientology has been given the L, you know, in the biggest way possible multiple times now. Okay. And we need to keep pushing forward with that momentum of just hammering in on them from every possible aspect. So in today's episode, because we're going to take a few days to break this down. Okay. In today's episode, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what is Narconon? How did this come about? What is it? All right. So let's go to, I'm going to relax. I'm going to relax. We're going to move this. I'm going to do it we're going to just make this smaller. I'm going to talk myself through it. Here we go. All right. Yes. Did it. All right. So Narconon. So this is from a university website here. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. That over here. All right. So this is how Narconon started. Okay. Let's dive into it. So by the age of 31, Bill Benitez had carried the monkey. That's an expression for when you are a heroin addict. Okay. Got the monkey on your back, right? Let me make myself a little bit smaller here at the top. Boop. There we go. Ta-da. All right. So Bill Benitez had carried the monkey, heroin, for 18 years. That's a long time to be addicted to anything. And spent 13 years behind bars, including one federal prison term. On December 22nd, 1964, he pled guilty to possession of narcotics as a habitual offender. The sentence called for a mandatory 15 years to life. He remembers telling court official he still intended to kick drugs and even start a drug program. The man responded, "The best thing to do with guys like you is take you behind a building and do everyone a favor and put you out of your misery." Sounds like a fun judge. His attorney arranged for him to go before the judge just before Christmas, feeling that the spirit of the holiday might work in his favor. That it never does. I made my plea to the judge, telling him of all my attempts over the years to stop using drugs, such as joining the Marines, committing myself to hospitals for psychiatric care, and therapy several times, isolating myself in mining towns in a personal try to kick the habit, and even how 2 marriages hadn't helped straighten me up. I told him that in spite of all those failures, I was still going to make it, that I had not yet given up. He must have believed there was still a spark of hope for me. He sentenced me to the mandatory 15 years instead of running it to life. With this small victory, Bill Benitez went back to Arizona State Prison, but something significant happened with far-reaching consequences. A friend gave Bill some reading material. Among the material was an old, tattered, well-read copy of L. Ron's Fundamentals of Thought. Okay, this is one of the basic books. He says, "This small book impressed me more than anything else I've ever read before. I read it over and over and then got additional books by Mr. Hubbard and studied them very carefully over the months. The material identified human abilities and their development." So basic. What impressed me was Hubbard's work concentrated not only on identifying abilities, but also on methods, practical exercises, these are TRs, guys, which to develop them. Okay, so those are the training routines. Okay, I realized that drug addiction was nothing more than a disability, resulting when a person ceases to use abilities essential to constructive survival. I found that if a person rehabilitated and applied certain abilities, that person could persevere towards goals set, confront life, isolate problems, and resolve them. Communicate with life, be responsible, and set ethical standards and function within the band of certainty. Okay. In 1965, Bill, armed with the knowledge of Hubbard's books, jumped down from his double bunk and noted on his wall calendar, decision to set up Narcotic Foundation. Okay. Officials denied permission for 6 months to Bill's request to start a program with other convicted drug addicts. None of the prison officials could have conceived that out of the combination of these two factors, one man's I don't know what that word is, intention to change his life for the better, and the philosopher's intention to help all men to help themselves, one of the world's most successful rehabilitation programs would evolve. No, absolutely not. Finally, obtaining permission to start his foundation on a pilot basis from the warden, this is in now 1966, he formed the first Narconon with 20 inmates. The date was February 19th, 1966. The group expanded by word of mouth to more than 60 students. In a remarkable development, when offered an opportunity to leave prison based on a legal technicality, Benitez requested to stay in prison and get his students through what he'd started. It was the best decision I ever made in my life, also the toughest. I would have loved to walk away from that court and be a free man. That's how strong the power of Scientology is. This man stayed in jail instead of walking free. Because his students were more important to him. Okay, let's look at the Narconon website, okay? I just want to show you what they're advertising to the world. So that's the origin of Narconon, okay? Just in case you guys never knew. Bill Benitez was in jail, and he started with the fundamentals of thought, okay? In the fundamentals of thought, let's pull it up here. I'm pretty sure... Somebody put it on Goodreads. Not Goodreads. Can I read it here? Uh-huh. Oh, I want to create an account, Goodreads. It's annoying. I think I might have it, actually. Please hold. Elmo's World. Sorry, I don't know why that popped up in my mind. Rude. Okay. Oh, here we go. Ta-da! Okay. So let's share this. Why is it so awkwardly shaped? Okay. Can we just... There. Fundamentals of thought. Okay. So here's the chapters. Okay. The vital statistics of Scientology, basic principles, the conditions of existence, the 8 dynamics, the ARC triangle, affinity, reality, communication, the reason why, parts of man, causation of knowledge, know and not know, goal of Scientology, Scientology processing, and exact processes. So this is a basic books. Okay. It's going to tell you what Scientology is, how is Scientology used, can a person without much study use Scientology, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So then you get into the basic principles. Okay. The cycle of action. Okay. These are the founding blocks of Scientology, just so you understand what Bill Benitez was reading. Okay. For example, a man has a job. He works at it. That is to say, he create a job throughout the days, weeks, and years. As long as he makes a job, the job exists. One day he depends upon, takes for granted this job. He no longer creates it. It ceases to exist. He has no job. The appearance is that he loafed, became lazy, and was discharged. The actuality is that he no longer created a job and so didn't have one. So you have to, like, everything in your life, you have to constantly be creating, right? The conditions of existence are be, do, have. This is why Scientologists refer to beingness, doingness, and havingness, guys, okay? You get into all this hullabaloo, do equals effect, blah, 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 blah. Just twist your mind around that. The 8 dynamics. So now we're going to talk about self, sex, blah, 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 blah. Break that down. Okay, then you have the ARC triangle, right? You know, affinity, reality, communication, how to raise those, how to lower those, okay? The reason why life cannot be best be understood by likening it to a game. And it gets weirder from there, guys, okay? Talks a lot about freedom, pan-determinism, self-determinism, the parts of man, okay? So the first of these is the spirit, called in Scientology the Thetan. The second of these is the mind, and the third part is the bodhi, Thetan, mind, body, okay? So he talks about that, breaks those down, analytical, reactive mind, blah, 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 blah. We're not reading this whole Hubbard book today. Chapter 8, causation of knowledge. Now you're going to get into these axioms. Guys, this is like the Old Testament, okay? Life is basically a static. Life static has no mass, no motion, no wavelength, no location in space or time. It has the ability to postulate and to perceive. Boop, 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 boop. The word postulate in Scientology means to cause a thinkingness or a consideration. It is especially applied word and is defined as causative thinkingness. It gets more and more weird after that, okay? Talks about games more, talks about a bunch of stuff, okay? And then you go down, know and not know. Now, this is a whole concept in Scientology. It's like black or white, yes, no, alive, death, right? The goal of Scientology. Okay, then the processing. What does it say here is the goal? The end object of Scientology is not the making into nothing of all existence or the freeing of the individual of any and all traps everywhere. The goal of Scientology is the making of the individual capable of living a better life in his own estimation and with his fellows, and the playing of a better game. It's not even about making you better. He says it right there. You enjoy that drinkingness, Aubrey. Okay, so here's the auditor's code. And then we're going to get into processing, okay? The code of a Scientologist. All right, so now these are the processes that Will Benitez started using in the jail in 1966, okay? So these are all the things. The process only those conditions listed as game conditions. Do not process directly towards those conditions listed as no game conditions. Okay, so, oh, no. So you're going to process these things here. Attention, identity, effect on opponents, no effect on self, can't have on opponents, goals and their areas, problems of play, right? So then it gets down into how to do that, okay? Look around here and tell me what you could have. Look around here and tell me what you'll permit to remain in place. Look around here and tell me with what you could dispense. This is going to make somebody so better. Just repetitively for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Okay. All right. So this book is very small. It's a small basic book. Okay. So that was the book he got his hands on. And that's why Bill started Narconon. Okay. He started Narconon based on that book. One day we'll do a deep dive into the whole book. It's only 43 pages. So Narconon here, this is their website. When we go to the About section here, we have this fun little video.
There is an answer to the nightmare of addiction.
It's not you guys. All right. So Narconon's mission is to provide an effective path for rehabilitation from drug abuse and to assist society in preventing the scourge of drugs worldwide. using evidence-based, no, it's not, drug-free, yes, approach to rehabilitation developed by acclaimed author and humanitarian L. Ron Hubbard. Narconon centers help those enslaved by drugs and alcohol to build new lives filled with purpose and productivity. Our graduates return to their families and communities drug-free and in control of their lives. Narconon also provides comprehensive training to professionals and organizations seeking workable drug rehabilitation and prevention solutions. There have been many offshoots of Narconon over the years, guys. Just little independent sauna centers and things like this, okay? So when we go, that's the mission. So why Narconon works? This is what they say, okay? So you see the steps here: drug-free withdrawal, new life detoxification, that's the Purif, the objectives, and life skills. So so the drug-free withdrawal, for any of y'all out there, okay, withdrawal from drugs or alcohol specifically that you have been, involved in for any amount of time is an extremely, and I do mean extremely, an extremely delicate process, okay? Especially in the case of alcohol, okay? If you or someone you know is addicted to alcohol, warning. I'm not a doctor, but this is a factoid that I know, like from watching Doogie Howser and stuff, okay? But if you are addicted to alcohol, you cannot just stop drinking it cold turkey. Your body will go into shock and die. Alcohol is one of the hardest things to come off of, but it can kill you if you just suddenly stop drinking it. You must do that in a clinically monitored environment, okay? And please, if you are having any of these issues, okay, guys, if we're touching on addiction issues for you, and this is very personal, please do seek out professional help on that matter, because this is a very important topic to me for several reasons, which I'll get into later. But yeah, I feel like please do this in a clinically supervised environment with doctors and other things on hand, okay? But what they're doing here, which I will show you, is not that, okay? Where are we? Here we go. We're going to go back to this. Okay, so they say, for each student, a personal withdrawal specialist is on hand to assist. That is not the case in every Narconon. They do not have a 1-to-1 ratio all the time, okay? They use nutrition and special techniques that ease discomfort and painful symptoms. They do not administer medical detox at a Narconon. I want to really emphasize, they do not administer a medical detox at Narconon. Okay? It is so dangerous because they don't, most of the staff there at any Narconon are ex-drug addicts who graduated the program and were offered a job. Now, nothing against people who got off drugs. My mom was a heroin addict long before I was born. She was heavy into the 60s. Okay. Like, she did all of the things. If there was a drug to try, she did it. Okay. But which is why as a child, I didn't do drugs. I would literally just ask my mom, what's going to happen if I take blood? She's like, oh, this one time. One time at band camp, and then you have some like fucked up story about how like literally it was like this insane thing. I was like, that sounds awful. I'm a hard pass. Thank you. Hard pass. No. Yeah. So then of course in this section there has to be all this debunking of other things, right? When I came in, I was reeling with pain. With the help of vitamins and minerals and nonstop help, I did make it through heroin withdrawal. I've not had pain since. This person detoxed from heroin with vitamins, with Flintstone kids. Okay. I went to 12-step. They told me relapse is part of recovery. I was introduced to heroin by listening to other people's stories there. When I came to Narconon, I was scared of the drug-free withdrawal, but it was definitely the easiest withdrawal I've ever had. This is obviously, I mean, you know, from someone who's had a lot of problems with drugs, you know. Hi, Serge. You know, so it's very dangerous, guys. This is just the first step that they're already not like medically licensed to do. Okay. And then you do the PureF. We've talked about the PureF, guys. Look, they're putting it right there. There's the sauna. Here's the CalMag. Nobody has these uniforms. Okay. It's based on L. Ron Hubbard's breakthrough discovery that LSD residues appear to remain trapped in the body. First of all, that's not true. Drugs do not stay in the fatty deposits of your body. When you do the sauna and you are sweating, it's because it's hot. You are not getting rid of toxins or drugs in your body. The PureF cannot reverse brain damage if you have taken so many drugs or anything else that you've done that. Serge, I ate Flintstones vitamins too, and I love them. That's just an 80s kid thing. That's why we're going to live forever, Serge. The Flintstones vitamins. I'm convinced. I'm convinced. Okay. This explained why someone who had used LSD in the past could suddenly reactivate a trip even years later. No, honey, it's in your brain. It's called getting a part of your brain triggered. But this was the science. And we all know, guys, secret is that L. Ron didn't want everybody to know that he had been tripping out on LSD, and that's how he discovered the OT levels. And so that's why he's so anti-LSD. It's the one drug besides all of the psych drugs, but like the one recreational drug that if you take it, you're basically the worst person on the planet if you take LSD. Why LSD? Because he discovered the secrets of the universe while he was on LSD, and he doesn't want you to do that for free. He wants you to pay him a lot of money. Okay? Yeah. It's insane. Okay? The answer, the new life detoxification, the PureF, is a combination of exercise, sweating in a dry heat sauna, and carefully monitored regimen of hydration and nutrition. The procedures break up and flush out the toxic residues that remain in the body, even after a person stops taking drugs. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Ask any Narconon graduate about the New Life Detox. They'll tell you they sweated out the drugs, locked up in their system, and gained a new energy, new vitality, new life, free from drug cravings. No. They've overdosed on niacin. They've wrecked their liver. The PureF is one of the singularly most destructive programs that L. Ron ever came up with to the human physical body. Which, listen, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but here's my hypothesis, guys. I'm hypothesizing that by dehydrating yourself, taking overdoses on a multitude of vitamins, okay, specifically niacin, and putting yourself in a 5-hour sauna a day for months is a form of physical torture that then eases in the rest of the indoctrination yet to come. It takes your physical strength and health and puts it in the toilet so that you can only turn to and grasp for more Scientology to fill that void that you have now created in your own body. Why is the PureF at the beginning of the bridge? Why is it the first step? Right? Even for children born into Scientology, you still have to do the PureF. You know, you could have taken an Advil one time. You're around all this smog. Maybe your parents smoked. Right? It is horrifically bad for your body. I did it 3 times. Just for good measure. Yeah, this is, it is a form of physical torture. 100%. 100%. But that's a thinker. Like, why? Why does everybody have to do this? It's a huge form of indoctrination. and self-torture and sitting in the sauna and not getting out and all of these things. Okay. Oh, I went to the wrong screen. It's just me. All right. And then of course you have the objectives. And this is where the mind, really comes in. Okay. So, now they're not going to list them. They're not going to tell you what they are, right? This includes unique exercises called objectives to help bring a person's attention off the past and into the present. Becoming stable in present time is a very important factor in drug rehabilitation. A person's attention can be stuck in literally thousands of different past moments. Guy's just stuck there, stuck. Okay, his behavior and his attitudes are influenced by such past experience. With so much attention on his past, he has little or no attention left for the here and now. Yeah, this is the obsession with Scientologists. Okay, come to present time, right? Always being in present time. Now, what's evil about that is that it doesn't really mean be present. Like I have been practicing meditation and mindfulness now for a number of years. And that is to help me be more present, right? To be more here, to not be like literally I'm like stewing on something and I'm just like, and even when I'm talking like that's still like playing loudly in the background, right? But when a Scientologist or L. Ron says to be in present time, what they're trying to get you to do is have a very narrow set of blinders on, like this, okay? So all you're seeing is what L. Ron is showing you through that tiny, tiny pinhole, which is Scientology and how Scientology is the way, Scientology is the truth. Because if you start thinking like, oh, I watched the news today. You watch the news? Get into present time. Don't watch that propaganda. Or, I was talking to my mom and, she made a comment about, when I was a kid, I used to just come up to present time, right? Because if you are not focused on that teeny tiny pinhole of Scientology and what L. Ron is telling you, then you can be influenced by anything else. You can escape. You can get out of the matrix, right? So yeah, it doesn't mean what they're saying it means. Okay. So, all right. Now, as an example of real rehab, just to do this. This is a local rehab here in Oregon. It's the Hazelden Betty Ford Clinic. Okay, I just Googled, rehabs near me, okay? So here's all the things they have. They're going to tell you what their programs and services are. Okay, they have mental health services. They have inpatient treatment. Okay, outpatient treatment. Ooh, I hit a button. What did I do? Here we go. Virtual outpatient treatment. Detox. Now let's look at their detox just as an example. What is alcohol or drug detox? Detoxification is the process of flushing substances from the body and managing any resulting withdrawal symptoms. Alcohol detox and withdrawal produce a set of physical and mental symptoms that results from alcohol's departure from the body, commonly referred to as alcohol withdrawal syndrome. The symptoms vary in severity, discomfort, and pain, and they can be confused for a mild cold or they can prove deadly. This unpredictability makes medical involvement and supervision of the alcohol detox process important. Drug detox and withdrawal follow a similar course, whether a person is addicted to illegal drugs or prescription painkillers. The drug detox process can also be similar to alcohol detoxification, but the symptoms and medical solutions will vary based on several factors. The drugs or drugs taken, the duration and extent of drug use, any family history of drug addiction, general health concerns, the presence of co-occurring mental health disorders, meaning there's a mental health diagnosis like depression or anxiety, along with drug addiction. Okay? Alcohol and or drug detox is typically the first stage in recovery from substance use disorder. Medical professionals and treatment centers can provide safe environments for detoxing from alcohol, opiates, and other drugs to help you transition to a more engaging and holistic treatment experience. Now, there's a whole section on just alcohol withdrawal syndrome. There's a lot of stuff. Delirium tremens, the DTs, is a life-threatening symptoms of very severe alcohol withdrawal. Okay? What are the symptoms of drug withdrawal? How can I safely detox? Detox programs and addiction treatment centers are two forms of supervised medical detox. Both provide a safer environment for your detoxification and withdrawal processes than attempting to do so at home. As part of the detox process, medical care providers will evaluate your risk factors. For example, if you have heart disease or diabetes, you may be at higher risk for complications during alcohol withdrawal. In an inpatient setting, doctors can safely monitor, manage, and ease any existing medical conditions alongside alcohol withdrawal symptoms and provide safer, more comfortable withdrawal process. It's also possible for a doctor to manage your withdrawal symptoms while you remain at home, okay? Gives you, this just keeps going. Why get professional help, okay? Now, as opposed to what Narconon said on their site, for each student, a personal withdrawal specialist on hand to assist. They use nutrition and special techniques. That's called assists. Touch assist, nerve assist, locationals that ease discomfort and painful symptoms. Do you guys see the difference here? This is how dangerous Narconon is. They don't take someone's medical history into account, not even on the website. They don't even acknowledge it, that someone could have massive amounts of complications based solely on just their own health records, right? Just on their, the health and everything. It is insane what they're doing. Absolutely bonkerdoodles. Absolutely bonkerdoodles. Okay. Let's look at this, guys. So this is like if I was going to be like, hey, you should do Narconon, and I just give you this. Okay. So we open up the book. Here we go. Bump the micro. Blah, 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 blah. It's the same thing we read here. The global mission. The pathway to freedom from addiction. Blah, 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 blah. So then it says they've been around for 50 years, guys. 50 years saving lives from drugs. So here we go with the locations. Ready? We have, here we go. So you see all the little marks on the map? Okay. So we've got Narconon, Australia. Canada, Colombia, Denmark, Egypt, Holland, Hungary, Israel, several in Italy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in Italy. 7 in Italy. Macedonia, 4 in Mexico. Nepal, 4 in Russia. South Africa, 2 in Spain, Sweden, Taiwan, Turkey, Ukraine, United Kingdom. And then in the United States of America, we have Narconon Arrowhead, which is in Oklahoma. Narconon Ojai, which is the celebrity center of Narconons there in SoCal, just outside Los Angeles. Narconon Colorado, Narconon Louisiana, Narconon Nevada, Narconon Michigan, Narconon Warner Springs, Narconon, that's, I believe that's another one in Michigan. I have to look. Narconon South Lake Tahoe. Damn it. That's my favorite place on planet Earth, and they've got a Narconon there. I got to shut that shit down. Narconon South Texas, Narconon Spring Hill, and Narconon Vista Bay. Vista Bay. Okay, so the rest of this here, which we'll go over, this gives you the components, which we just went over. Look at these great pictures, guys. Here's a guy. Look at his cells with the cooties all over it. Look at the cooties on him. It's body thetans. Look at, they just put cooties all over everybody. Like literally, like this, it's giving body thetans, guys. Then they talk about the objectives, the purif, Look how, oh, just graduates, just clip art graduates. Yeah, it says there's one in Chicago. So then they have pictures. This is the Arrowhead facility in Oklahoma. This is the one in Sweden. It's giving IKEA. This is the one in the UK. I like how they just take a picture of the one room. This is Canada. So woodsy, so natural. This is the one in Australia. This is Latin America. One of the ones in Mexico or Colombia, it doesn't say. This is, yes, this is in Mexico. This is Africa, South Africa. It's in Pretoria. Oh, sorry, it's in Gauteng, which is an hour from Pretoria in Joburg. This is the one in Ojai. Used to be Larry Haggis's estate. They bought that. Okay, now this is a section I want us to pay close attention to. And I'm going to take a picture of this and put it on my community tab. These, of course, just like at the Life exhibition, they have to show you all the awards and certificates that they've been given by different cities, counties, Congress people. Okay? Why is that important? Because what we need to start doing, for example, let's just take this first one here. Why would they give it to Shalako? I didn't even look at what this was, guys. I'm going to put it up to the camera so you guys can see how pathetic. Look at this big thing here. I hope the focus comes in. Okay, there we go. So it says County of Los Angeles. Okay, you guys see that? I'm going to read it to you, though. It says County. Let me get my bifocals working here. County of Los Angeles. It's too small. I got to get close to it. With sincere congratulations and best wishes, the Board of Supervisors of the County of Los Angeles does hereby join in the celebration of the benefit event, Narconon Shalako New Life Center, on August 3rd, 1990. So they somehow got the Board of Supervisors to put a seal on a ridiculous certificate to celebrate a fundraiser, guys, for Narconon. Okay. So let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to put these up. But what needs to happen, guys, and you guys saw me call, Rafa, and we're going to start calling these Congress people, these city officials and all this stuff, and talk to them about the fact that Narconon is still using their name and their city and county seals to aid legitimacy to their organization. Okay. The other thing that we need to get on, and by the end of this, I'll have more information, is how to contact Blue Shield and Blue Cross, because they have now, Narconon, guys, Narconon is approved by Blue Shield and Blue Cross to submit medical billing for their procedures. I want you guys to let that sink in. That Blue Shield and Blue Cross are going to pay these Narconon centers to do these things to these people. That is insurance fraud. Because none of this is medical. Not one single thing they're doing there is a medical procedure. Okay. So let me go to the comments and questions, because today we're just going to talk about, we got the basics here. What is Narconon? What are they doing? Where are they at? The next episode is going to be super heavy duty, guys. Tomorrow we are going to get into deaths. Because there's way too many of them concerning Narconon. I'm going to see if later this week I can, I got to talk to Phil Jones and or my mom, both of whom have expertise in Narconon. Pardon me. And we will get into that, because yeah. So let's dive into the comments first here. Oh, I want to fix this. How do I need to. I'm going to fix it. There's Aubrey. I need to get to the bottom. I'm being so delicate. I'm whispering because I don't want it to break because it became so big. Look how long. See? And now I did it again. I don't know what to do, guys. I don't know what to do. I'm going to bring up comments here. I love the new name. And I swear I love the... Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Nora breaks the streams, and so do I when I stream on Twitch. Par for the course. Yep. 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 Don't try to be perfect. Be present. Also, normal is boring. Correct. Celestial Commodore. Correct. I felt the same. It reminded me of when I was leaving a bad ex. I had to take a minute. Yeah. No, guys, I honestly, I got emotional watching Reese, and I felt like I was genuinely worried for her, you know, and her safety. And so I got spicy. I got very direct in the stream, but I don't regret it. I don't regret it because if someone's safety is at hand, that's always been my impulse, is to go do something, go help, go stand in the front, you know. My wife is a survivor of domestic assault. Even an argument with her scares her. I was sweating like crazy. Yeah. It's hard, being a trauma survivor and trying to work through that is tremendously hard, especially during a live. That's makes it near impossible. Makes it near impossible. Capricious Caroline, I completely agree with you about Tommy leaving, but I've been verbally abusive in it. Oh, sorry. No. Make that bigger. I've been in a verbally abusive relationship and he wouldn't leave. I had to go to the courthouse and get a restraining. I'm so sorry, Caroline. That is absolutely terrifying. And I'm sorry that you had to, go through that. That is awful. That is awful. Yeah, I'm hoping that, I'll check my text here. I'm hoping that Tommy is actually, oh, here we go. Hang on, I'm reading this here. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Well, he says he's waiting. It was a very long text. It was a text like this at the end to finally tell me he's waiting for his ride. But that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad. Because my only goal in contacting Tommy at all was to basically be like, bro, you need to go. If someone's feeling, it doesn't matter if you're in the right and the other person's wrong. If someone's in their own home and they feel unsafe, you need to, because you are there, you need to remove yourself, period. If I was in somebody's house and we had an argument and they felt like I needed to not be there, I would absolutely leave. I wouldn't insist on staying. That seems cuckoo, but it seems that he's going. So did Reese see your comments of support? Yes. Yes. Somebody thought my comments were being deleted. I think there were a couple people deleting my comments, and that's fine. I am a controversial person right now, and I understand that, and that's fine. But here's the sitch, guys, and I'll be 100p with you. If take for example Aaron, who I'm having a beef with. If Aaron were on the air, and he was saying, "I'm not safe. Someone's in my house," I would fucking do everything in my power to make sure he got to be safe, because that's who I am. Okay. It does not matter my personal beef, whatever. If someone I know is in danger or feels that they are in danger and it's going to adversely affect their physical and mental health, I'm going to try and help them. That's where I stand on things, regardless of personal past beefs and other things. I'm not the type of person who's like, oh, your tire's flat now? Well, sounds like a you problem. That's just not who I am. I I'm very emotional. I'm very effusive. But also, you know, I'm probably still going to help you out, even if I'm pissed off with you. Yeah. Oh yes, I brought this up earlier. Yes, I love that movie so much. I got to rewatch it. I'm sorry for Reese. I can't say I'm surprised. He blocked me for no reason at all. Not a reliable guy. Listen, like I said, guys, I don't know really anything about Tommy other than what I've seen on the internet. And let's face it, you don't really know anybody that you see on the internet. So, Lost Boys and Golden Girls. Oh, well, this is a great combo. I really respect you for your comments and support for Reese on there. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yes, no, I heard Reese Galen. I did. And I hope she's doing okay. I didn't want to make you guys wait any longer on this one. Been diving into the Scientology in the UK, and I found where Narconon and 7 other businesses are registered. I'll be doing a deeper dive over the next few days. Perfect. Perfect. I'm late again, but being a recovery addict for 30 years, this is the live I didn't want to miss. Oh, Tim, thank you for being here. And please, listen, I never did drugs. I was terrified of them my whole life because of my mother. But if I get something wrong on this, please let me know. Please shout it out. Let me know. Because this is not an area that I'm expert in at all. And I also want to be 100% clear that if at any time in your life, you have, you know, fallen down that rabbit hole of drugs, alcohol addiction, whatever, I do not have any hate or loathing or upset in my heart towards you. I have a lot of sympathy. I don't totally understand it. I'm going to be 100% with you, but I love, you know, I when my mom told me that she was a drug addict in the 60s, I didn't think, oh, well, ew, I'm so grossed out now that you're my mom. I have said that to many people over the years, that I was proud of her for getting off drugs and for being able to, you know, be a mom and things like that. I'm so proud of her. You know, my mom is a very stubborn woman, guys. She was on heroin and she got off heroin, right? Cold turkey. Don't do that. And then, you know, she credited Scientology for that. We've had a lot of discussions about that over the years. And then, you know, she quit smoking the same way, you know, and she doesn't really drink anymore. I think she drinks like 1 drink a year, you know, like on Christmas or something, you know. Or if the Academy Awards are really bad, you know, then that's pretty much it, you know. So, I mean, she's been clean now for 50 years almost. Yeah. You know, and that's a huge thing for anybody. So congrats, Tim, on 30 years of sobriety, man. That's fucking amazing. You know, that's an accomplishment. Onita, food control, be it fasting, overeating, vitamins, restrictive diets, all forms of indoctrination. Yes. And control often used by cults. Yes, 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 yes. I truly believe that I had tried to get sober with this nonsense, I would either be high or dead today. That is very possible. That is very possible. Also, stopping benzos, you can die if you quit cold turkey. Correct. Correct. There's many drugs, guys, that if you quit cold turkey, your body can't not have it, right? You do have to step down from it in a medically supervised environment to make sure you do it in the correct and in the time needed. It could take a long time sometimes to step down off things. Like, as an example, guys, I took the very first migraine medicine I ever got prescribed in 2016. Yeah, was Pamelor. Okay. Pamelor is a antidepressant. So I was terrified, number one, of taking this medication, but I was like, anything to make the migraine stop. But it's not prescribed as an antidepressant anymore because it doesn't work for that. But they found out that in some cases, it can work as a migraine preventative, right? So it's usually the first thing. It's also known as nortriptyline. It's usually the first thing given to people who are like, I have migraines, right? As a trial. I was on that for 4 years, and I got up to like the maximum dose that you can take in a day, which was like a gram or something, like 3 times a day, 2 times a day. I forget. It was just a fucking lot. And so when that finally, it just wasn't, I kept going more and more and more, but it really wasn't working. They finally like, okay, we're going to put you on this other preventative, right? But first you have to step down from the Pamelor. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just stop taking it. They're like, no, ma'am, no. Nope. And it took me, I think, 6 months to step, because I was taking so much of it, to step down off of this drug. Those 6 months were excruciating, but I had to do it because you can't just stop taking something like that. Just poop. Oh, I don't, no, thank you. Right. Yeah. So I understand that it can be a long process. It is not easy. It's very hard. Your body fights you the whole way. And thank God I don't have to take that anymore because it wasn't working. But yeah, for me, some people take it and it's perfect. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Aubrey. Checking with Blue Cross Blue Shield in Rhode Island right now. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Mindwipe. Insurance fraud. Correct. End of musing. I saved my own life the last time I drank 5 years ago by having a little more so I didn't seize waiting for the... Yes. See? Yes. Yeah. Good job. Good job on tapping yourself off there, topping yourself up, before the ambulance got there, because yeah, you could have died 100%. Oh, I love you back. I love you back, Heather. Thank you. 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous do the same emotional stuff, only safely. Yes. Yes, absolutely. And a lot of people have had a lot of success with both of those 12-step programs. Absolutely. Stasia, I finally watched Mean Girls and I wish I hadn't. Did not like it. Stasia, this is a declaration of war. Is this a joke? Am I being trolled right now? I watched that movie 8 times in the theater. It is a masterpiece of the human experiment of life. And it gave us Rachel McAdams. Thank you very much. Thank you. I've spoken. The end of musing. I've also had a seizure while driving after deciding cold turkey off alcohol and benzo. Ironically, it was outside the doctor's office. Okay. Yeah, don't do that stuff, guys. Listen to the end of musing. Don't do that stuff. Like if you have a problem or you think you have a problem with alcohol or drugs, please seek out proper medical care for that. Okay. There are treatment centers in every city, in every county across this country. Okay. If you're in America, if you're in other countries, please reach out to your healthcare official, website. Get help for that. There is help available. It is not a lost cause. You are worth it. Okay. But please, I beg of you, do not try to just white knuckle your way through detox because your physical safety is at risk. Okay. So please seek out proper medical care to detox from any substance that you are having issues with. Okay. Oh, now what? I've had so many problems with prescribed narcotics and antidepressants that I never had the desire to use street drugs. Yeah, that can happen too. I mean, the only drugs I've ever taken, guys, have been prescribed to me by a doctor, right? And that's all new to me in this next third of my life. I mean, I didn't take an antidepressant until last year, guys. Until 2023. I took my first antidepressant for depression. Finally acknowledged I'm depressed. And yeah, I mean, it's been great. I lucked out. First one works like a charm for me. Yeah, I lucked out. No adverse effects, no weird sauce, that was awesome. I got very lucky in that regard. Right. But I was guys, I had to go through 47 years of being in terror of this class of drugs because I was convinced that it was going to, medically lobotomize me. So I get it. If there are any, you know, under the radar Scientologists or ex-Scientologists out here who are like suffering from different things, please understand, I get it. But also know that you're not going to die. None of those things are true. Okay. And yes, we do need vitamins and minerals if you're not getting all of that from your diet. Okay. Like in Oregon here, we have to take extra vitamin D because we just don't get enough sunshine throughout the years, guys. There's not enough milk or cheese that I can eat to supplant that. So I do take vitamin D, right? Because it's dark as hell here. Right. But it's not the only solution. I mean, diet, exercise, mindfulness, all of these things in combination, because there's no magic bullet. This is what I tell my kids, right? Like, you know, Lexapro isn't going to cure all of your evils, right? This is the difference between science and Scientology. Okay. In Scientology, every single thing on the bridge fixes everything. In science, we know, well, it's a combination of the things and each person is different. Everybody doesn't need all of the same things, right? Because we are not exactly the same. Our brains are not exactly the same. Our bodies are not exactly the same. Our lived experience is not exactly the same, right? So, yeah, just like Aubrey says, to be honest, I was on Ritalin for so many years, I won't say that it was easy or recommending it to anyone to quit cold turkey, but it was well worth it. Well, listen, if it's not, here's the deal. If you know, I'm glad you made it through that because that is wild. But also, like, talk to your doctor about that. If Ritalin is not your gym jam, it's not working for you, talk to your psychiatrist, get something else. I just talked to my psychiatrist today, guys, you know, about medication, about what's going on with me, about all the things. He's hilarious. I love him so much. Shout out to my psychiatrist. But, you know, like I do things that a medically licensed professional is guiding me to do because that's what we should do. Not a crazy, wild-haired, you know, eccentric from Montana who decided that there were tiny little beings stuck all over my body. And that's why I can't sleep at night, you know. Been sober for 5 years from alcohol, but after 25 years, deal with more important things like CPTSD than benzodependence. It also wasn't until I got sober I even started to process the trauma. That is so true. End of the end of musing, because I, like I said, I've never been on drugs other than like, you know, prescribed or whatever for an extended period of time. But I will say this, like, I feel like I'm going to circle back to the shots, which is a therapy that I've done to help myself. I've done a lot of other therapies. I've done intensive outpatient therapy, group therapy, one-on-one therapy, you know, horse therapy now, which is fun. But getting the shots allowed me, it was like a trauma detox. I guess that's like the best way to describe it is because like, instead of the trauma just being like here and all over me and just like ready to just be like, pew, you know, at any moment, right? It's separate from me in a way where it's like, it still exists, but it's more like I can have a conversation with it and about it because it's not slapping me around, right? Which is a different experience than what I was having for the previous 48 years, which was just constant alertness. Sorry, a Scientology quote popped in my head. Constant alertness, constant willingness to fight back. Yeah. That's part of the code of a Sea Org member. See, these are the things that you get programmed into, guys. And it just heightens your fucking amygdala. Like nobody's been. Constant alertness, constant willingness to fight back. Like, yeah, I've been in that state for many moons. And now I'm finally starting to relax. But the trauma is coming out of me in different ways at different times. But now it's not as devastating as it was. Sometimes I still get tired and overwhelmed and whatever, but yeah. Prescription drugs and doing work outside help my mom with her depression. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. I love that. Let's go to questions here. Trisha says, I got to catch up later, but I'm curious. Do you think that Tiny Dave will actually show up on court on Thursday? And if not, will there be consequences? I don't know. I mean, I hope he shows up. I would really hope he shows up. I don't know what the consequences are. Yeah, I don't know. Legally, I don't know what the consequences are. I mean, contempt of court, I guess. But yeah, I hope he does. I wish I could be there, but I'm going to the mountains for the weekend. Aubrey, would you like me to get you a copy through? I don't know what that, a copy of what? I don't know, Aubrey. I don't know. Guys, somebody sent me some super chats here. What's going on? Better Together. I love your voice on this. I hope you always make content as long as you're up to it. Thank you so much. What's going on here today? My ex with PTSD from serving in Iraq went off SSRI cold turkey. He developed, I got to expand this here. He developed discontinuation syndrome. Eventually, he was 37, convinced he was the king of England and didn't know who I was. Kept telling me his girlfriend was coming for him. Wow. Yeah, guys, you got to do this in a medically supervised environment. It's been 3 years. He's never come back to reality and will likely live like this for the rest of his life. Afraid to swallow his own saliva, afraid to eat, confused. So sad. Oh my God, my heart is breaking for you and for him. That is absolutely horrific. That is horrific. I mean, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And guys, this is like, all of these classes of drugs, okay, the SSRIs, all of these things, please be careful with those, right? Be cautious. Try it. If it doesn't, if you're feeling in any way, shape, or form, I shouldn't say try it. If you need it and it's prescribed to you, okay, you are well within your rights after, the first few weeks of trial period to be like, I don't like how this is making me feel. I don't want to keep doing this. Please pay attention to your body. Pay attention to how you feel on any medication you're prescribed. Just because, on the other side of the coin, just because a medical professional is telling you this is the drug for you, it may not be the drug for you. I have gone through, I lost count of how many migraine medicines I went through. All of them, I guess, I think. I'm pretty sure. And depression or anxiety, mental health disorders are much like migraines. Nobody knows where it comes from. Nobody knows what turns that switch on and off. And so it's all a bunch of hunting and pecking and trial and error in that arena. Right. And Capricious correct. It can take up to 6 weeks to start being effective. Any of those medicines. Right? Because they have to build up in your system, which is why then you have to step down off of them very carefully. Okay. Yeah. So this is just, like absolutely, yeah. What is this? What did I do? Did I do something right? You just described a therapy model called internal family systems, which talks about parts and self being different and teaches you to talk to parts, like you mentioned. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Well, I won't. Thank you. I will talk to my therapist about that. A burn book doesn't scare you, Stasia? Good. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm just checking over the comments here, guys. But this is just the first episode in the Narconon series, and we're gonna go over every yeah. This is good advice, Capricious Caroline. Never go off psych meds, cold turkey. Never, never, never. Correct. Yeah. So we're gonna continue our journey tomorrow with hopefully I'm gonna fix all these things with some more Narconon, getting a little deeper here, getting into tomorrow's episode is going to be intense, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. We're going to be talking about death and things that happened, inside those Narconons. What's happening here, Orange County? Client transferred to my treatment facility from Narconon to my facility In SoCal, a woman's program for dual diagnosed females, tragic history. Oh, okay. Well, let me know about that. Send me an email. And I have to check back with my friend who works here locally at a rehab, if his facility has given him permission to come on the show. I really hope so. Also, he just had a baby, so he's a little busy. But we'll see. We'll see. Because I do want to interview him about what he's seen from people who've done Narconon, who've transferred from Narconon, etc. And like, let's just get all of the facts and figures out there. All right, guys, it's the witching hour. I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you all on the flippity dippity. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, as always, to all my mods and all my members. And guys, click that link. Scan it, click it, love it. Send me boxes of money. I need it. I'll see you guys on the flippity dippity.